Hello and welcome to the 4th Annual Speech Showcase.
And thank you so much for coming. We have 13 performers today and a 10-minute intermission halfway through the showcase.
We have many different speeches to show you today and some different categories.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time, so we had some people cut their speeches down to 7 minutes instead of the regular 10-minute timer.
Storytellers and our exempt reader already have a 7-minute timer for their categories, so they don't have to cut anything out at all. Let's get ready. First, we have Hayden, who is performing in the category of humor. An interpretation of a script that is funny and makes us all laugh. And she'll be performing the regular 10 minutes to start off the show. She's going to show us what summer camp feels like.
Wow, I can't wait for summer. So much fun, candy, bonfires. Hey, summer camp.
Good thing we will have fun at a different kind of summer camp. Please welcome Hayden.
Is this where we're supposed to meet for the bus to do the camp thing?
Sure is. Hey, you got any stuff?
Stuff? What kind of stuff?
You know, stuff.
Oh my gosh, you mean drugs? Shh,
Not so loud.
I'm court ordered to go to this program. I'm hoping I can break my addiction. Not likely. What are you addicted to?
Acetaminophen, ibuprofen, Pamprin, you know, the hard stuff.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. You all right?
Yeah, just a little weirded out right now.
Me too. All of these girls are crazy.
I know, right?
Yeah, but Bernard says you're okay. Wanna be tent mates?
Sure. Bernard?
Bernard! He's been my friend ever since I can remember. He's a squirrel. Can you see him?
No.
That's okay. Never met anyone who could.
You talk to squirrels?
Yup. He tells me to burn things.
Ah, summer camp. Falling out of canoes, getting poison ivy, and sitting around the campfire. It's the place where dreams are born, or for Stacy, where they die. Stacy is just like me. She's a normal girl who wanted to spend her summer at a totally awesome camp. But will Stacy survive having to battle through the deep forests when she becomes Wilderness Bound by J. Patrick Moss? La 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 la. You're about to be neck deep in the woods for the next 30 days, and I'm your only way out. One word from me and the judge will revoke your probation, and you'll be spending Christmas in juvie. Now sound out. Boone.
Here.
Clark.
Somewhere all over the rainbow.
Present.
Himes. Here. Shh, Bernard, she didn't call your name.
Warlock. Tracy Warlock. Are you trying to call my name? Is your name Tracy Warlock? No, it's Stacy Warnock. Is the computer doing that thing again? Okay, sound off, Warnock. That's me. Ma'am? What is it, Wartalk? You said that we were going to be in the woods for 30 days? That's right. A month of nothing but intense emotional therapy with your sisters. Here in the great wide open. It's gonna be so awesome. Women communicating with nature, solving our problems. See, about that, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to go to Camp Summerwoods only for a week. Is that a joke? Are you trying to be funny? Let me tell you what happens to jokers.
She has to go with. She said she'd be my tent mate.
Really? Far out. That's so completely awesome of you. Everyone tends to avoid Terry. Yes, but you don't understand. I'm not supposed to be here. Is your name Stacy Warnock? Yes, but the tablet says you're supposed to be here. That's because you just put my name in. Look, kid, the tablet doesn't lie. All right, crew, grab your gear. Bus leaves at 1400, and we need to be on site before nightfall. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Okay. I want you to start with some early evening meditation. I want you to visualize your happy place, your meadow, a place unique to you. Okay, what's in your meadow?
Flyer!
I was hoping for something a little more serene. How about you, Shaker? What makes you happy?
Drugs!
And moving right along to Stacy. So, I'm just supposed to say what makes me happy? I don't know. Stacy, what do you like to do for fun?
I don't know. Stuff?
No, not that. What then? Watch Netflix or YouTube. Or sometimes I scroll through my TikToks while I Skype text and tweet. Then there's my bi-hourly status updates. Those are super important. There's your problem. What problem? You're addicted to an electronic lifestyle. Would you quit saying I have a problem? You put my name in your little program, and now I have to spend the next 30 days, no texts, no music, no trends, with a bunch of freaks and weirdos. Just leave me the heck alone.
Hey! Shouldn't somebody go after Stacy?
I've got this. I served 3 deployments in Iraq. Shh. I can bring back a little girl from the woods. Be back with Warsaw in 5 ticks.
I'm pretty sure she went that way.
I know that. I was just doing some terrain recon.
How can you stand sharing a tent with that? She's not so bad. Once you get past the constant cussing, threats of violent assault, and stories about missing organs, everyone's unique butterfly. They're saying that we're all butterflies?
Yes, every individual is unique, like a snowflake.
So which is it? Are we butterflies or are we snowflakes? First one of you to call me a beautiful butterfly is going to be picking their teeth out of the dirt. What if we called you an ugly butterfly?
Stacy, it's so good you came back. I'm sorry. I thought Officer B would have stopped it.
She left to find you and bring you back to camp.
Guys, it's not like I went that far. What do you think would happen? I get eaten by a bear or something?
Something like that. Is it time for the fire? I need it. Bernard needs it.
Soon, Terry. And I expect you to be a good girl and not throw things into it.
Throw things like what? Like sticks? Like accelerants? Gasoline or napalm? Dear God! That was only one time because Bernard was bored.
Hey, Terry. I think if we widen our search, we'll have a better chance at finding Officer Buchanan.
Sounds like a plan. Hey, Bernard, wait up!
Wait, Terry, don't go! So, what now?
Now, we're the only ones at camp.
This means the guy in the hockey mask, he's gonna gut me with a butcher knife tonight?
Yeah, it's almost a given. I'm sorry, but you're dead meat.
Guys! Where's Terry? She was just down the trail rubbing 2 sticks together. That's dumb. Why was she doing that? She said that the squirrel told her to do it.
Do I smell smoke?
Smoke? Oh my gosh, Terry!
Honestly, Bernard and I don't see what the big problem is.
You were trying to start a fire, Terry. Officer Buchanan, you're alive. I am. Which is more than I can say for that bear that tried to get fresh with me 2 clicks down the trail. Now, Terry, what did I say about starting fires? But Officer B, Terry didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. She didn't start the fire. No, she didn't light it, but we tried. all this about? Starting fires? I'm Ranger Jamie Carr, and apparently you have a young woman with you who isn't supposed to be on this trip. I'm also investigating the death of the park's beloved mascot, our bear Joey. I found him dead just down the trail. I don't suppose any of you have heard or seen anything about that? Nope, we haven't heard or seen anything about that. Now, who was the young woman you were referring to? Stacy Warnock. She's supposed to be at Camp Summerwood. Told you! Well, I need you to grab your gear and come down the mountain with me before my back gives out. I think I want to stay. The tweets and status were just hollow substitutes for the life I should be living.
All right, Woodstock!
Come on, Officer B, you know my name. It's Warnock.
America the beautiful.
Great job, Hayden. Summer camp is so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. I also see invisible squirrels. Now, please welcome Miller, who's performing in Informative, a public address category that's on any topic that you want to do on. It's not persuasive, but just tells you more about it.
He will be doing it on black holes. Wow, that information just sucks me in. Thank you.
Ooh.
All right, let's hear it from Miller.
Space, the final frontier, as quoted by Captain Kirk from Star Trek, continues to stump and amaze scientists again and again with its mysterious origins in physics. I've always been intrigued by space and all it has to offer in terms of technological advancement and funny comedy movies like Spaceballs. One of the most relaxing things I can think of is looking out on a clear night full of stars. But what lurks out there, deep in space, are the behemoths known as black holes. In today's adventure, we're going to launch off Earth, covering the basics on black holes. Then, we're going to use the moon's gravity to slingshot ourselves towards the outreaches of the galaxy and cover the different sizes and types of black holes. Let's begin by launching from Cape Canaveral. You all know what a black hole is, but let's say for a minute you don't. What is it? According to the official NASA website, black holes actually begin as stars. Stars are made of massive amounts of hydrogen and go through hydrogen fusion at their core. This fusion creates helium and radiation that push against the forces of gravity, keeping the star stable. In larger stars, denser materials like iron are made at the core. Eventually, this helium and radiation isn't enough to resist the pressure of gravity, and the star collapses in less than a fraction of a second at about a quarter of the speed of light to a central point and explodes in a cataclysmic event known as a supernova. The resulting object, after all the energy has dispersed, is either a neutron star or a black hole. Our sun has a mass of 2 nonillion kilograms, which we will use as a basis for one solar mass. There are many different parts to a black hole. The bright glowing disk usually seen around the outside is called the accretion disk. This disk is made of spinning space material glowing very bright due to intense friction. As we move further in, we encounter the event horizon, a theoretical boundary from which no light or radiation can escape. Black holes generate an immense amount of gravity, so much so they're able to warp light. This means the light we see on the top and bottom of a black hole is actually the back of it. Finally, at the very center of the black hole is the singularity, the centralmost point of the black hole, and where all collected mass is located. A singularity has no volume, but is nearly infinitely dense due to the stretching of space caused by gravity. Next, we're going to use the moon's gravity to slingshot ourselves towards the different sizes and types of black holes. A black hole's formation isn't just limited to a star dying. Sometimes it depends on how and when the black hole actually formed. According to a video titled The Largest Black Hole in the Universe by Kurzgesagt, a team of mathematicians and researchers, the primordial black hole is the smallest black hole theorized, but only theorized. These black holes would have formed back in the Big Bang when groups of matter were just dense enough to form a black hole. They could be trillions of kilograms in weight at about the size of a proton. Next is the stellar black hole. This is the most commonly associated one, and its formation is a star dying or two stars merging, known as a kilonova. The smallest known stellar black hole is 2.7 solar masses, and the largest known stellar black hole is M33X-7 with 15.2 solar masses and an accretion disk that glows 500,000 times brighter than our sun. Next is the quasi-black holes. These black holes are 147 to 150 solar masses. Their formation is only possible with the theorized idea of a quasi-star. These stars would have been so massive the black hole formed inside, and the radiation coming off kept the star stable for millions of years. Eventually, these black holes passed the perceived limit of stellar black holes and would have been the precursor to supermassive black holes. These black holes are usually found at the center of galaxies and are millions of solar masses. There's one at the center of ours named Sagittarius A with 4 million solar masses. Supermassive black holes and galaxies have a symbiotic relationship where when one grows, so does the other. Our galaxy is 100,000 light years across, and with Sagittarius A sitting at the center, Earth is 26,000 light years away from it. There is one more size up from supermassive black holes, and those are ultramassive black holes. These black holes are so large that they are tens of billions of solar masses, and the smallest ones can contain 3 solar systems within their event horizons. This is TON 618. It has 66 billion solar masses, the ability to fit 11 solar systems side by side within its event horizon, and it takes like a week from the event horizon to reach the singularity at the center. In today's adventure, we launched off Earth, covering the basics on black holes. Then, we used the moon's gravity to slingshot ourselves towards the different sizes and types of black holes. We have a lot to learn and still explore, and I believe that once we can conquer space, there's no telling how far the human race could theoretically go. One day soon, I want to be able to look out at the stars while floating among them through space, drinking out of a nice cool glass of lemonade.
Mission Command, I have made my landing, looking for extraterrestrial life. Oh god, it's an alien! Oh, it's hideous! Oh, hi Max.
Alright. Well, great job, Maxim. Or Miller. Oh my gosh.
The brothers can just get mixed up real easy.
Next, we have Leah performing extemporaneous reading.
Extemporaneous reading is a 7-minute dramatic interpretation from a passage of a pre-selected book.
Hey, this script kind of feels like deja vu.
Deja vu over and over and over and over and over
And over.
and over.
Okay, that's enough. Okay. Anyway, welcome Leah.
Woo!
According to the National Institute of Health, 5 out of 100,000 people get diagnosed with amnesia every year. After Cole has a tragic accident, she is forced to relearn everything about herself and what has happened to her. This is Deja Vu Again by Cole Cassidy, found in The Moth Presents All These Wonders, edited by Catherine Burns. I wanted a fresh start. I was living in New York. My boyfriend, Adam, had just broken up with me and moved across the country to Los Angeles. He was a good guy. It was just one of those going nowhere for 3 years relationships. Neither of us had done anything horrible, like have an affair. We just weren't a good fit. Which my mother used to tell me on the phone the whole 3 years. Very gently, like, you're both such nice people. Maybe you're just not a good fit. But Adam and I were both just passive enough to keep it going. If things got bad and one of us might begin to muster the courage to pull the plug, then it would be one of our birthdays. Or we'd get really great concert tickets. And that would keep the relationship going for a few more months. And months turned into years. In 3 years, Adam never told me he loved me. And I think I loved him, but I wasn't gonna say it first, because I'm so mature. Then, one night, Adam took me out to this beautiful dinner. He told me he cared about me very deeply, and that he never wanted to marry me. It was essentially a reverse proposal. And that was it. He broke up with me, he moved to Los Angeles, it was over. And it was so painful for me. I remember just wanting to forget him, forget the past 3 years and wake up one morning and start fresh. I got my wish. I woke up in an ambulance wearing a cheerleading outfit, which, if you're over the age of 30 and it's not Halloween, raises questions, you know? There were EMTs all around me, and then I was on a gurney. Then I was being placed into a CT scanner, and then I was in this hospital room with all of these concerned strangers gathered around me. But they weren't strangers. I just couldn't identify them. What I didn't know was that earlier that day there'd been an accident. I'd been filming this television pilot. It was a movie spoof show. The pilot was a parody of Bring It On, the cheerleading movie. We were asked to do a stunt that we had never rehearsed. The stunt was I was being thrown up high in the air and caught. I was thrown up high in the air, but landed on my back and my head. I suffered a massive concussion and a slip disc in my back. I could barely walk, and I had no idea who I was. Diagnosis, amnesia. So I also didn't know that my boyfriend had dumped me a few weeks before I moved to Los Angeles. I didn't know anything. In the hospital, someone put a phone up to my ear and told me it was my mother. I heard this frantic female voice on the other end of the line, and it meant nothing. A friend knew where I lived, took me home, dug the keys out of my purse, got me into my apartment, and put me into bed. I wanted to call my dad. I remember having that thought. My friend said, "Why don't you rest? We'll call him later." But I wanted to call my dad, and I needed help because I didn't know the number. Again, my friend kind of put me off. "Why don't you rest? We'll call later, sleep a couple of hours." I started getting frustrated. Why aren't you helping me? I want to call my dad. My friend was looking at me like I was out of my mind. Finally, he said, "Don't you remember? You just called your dad. You've talked to him 3 times. We've done this 3 times. So you can call him again, but it'll be the 4th time. And I'm just worried we're starting to freak him out." This whole conversation, by the way, is happening with me still wearing the cheerleading outfit, the little white pleated skirt and matching top. Because when the hospital discharges you, it's like prison. They give you the clothes you showed up in, which for me was a costume from the pilot. I had both short and long-term amnesia. So I knew some things. I knew how to speak and I knew how to read, but I didn't know the big stuff, like who I was. I also couldn't retain anything. So if someone left the room and came back 10 minutes later, we had to start over. I was living quite literally moment to moment. A cat walks into the bedroom. Why is there a cat in here? People tell me it's my cat. Everyone that came and went, they were just strangers to me from a past I didn't even know existed. They tried to help. I remember my best friend, Amy, stormed into the bedroom screaming, "She's a vegetarian. Don't let her eat any meat." That sounded familiar, but it didn't mean anything. I mean, I could have been gnawing on a real shank, but it sounded important, and I didn't want to forget it, so I wrote it down. There was a pad of Post-it notes on the table next to my bed. I wrote down, "You are a vegetarian." Someone had called Adam, and he flew in from LA right away and was at my bedside with tears in his eyes. In fact, the first night he slept in my bed with me, which I remember was kind of weird, and I thought presumptuous, because who is this guy in my bed? He said he was my boyfriend, but he could have been the mailman. I don't know. I've got amnesia. The next day, Adam showed me pictures of us together to see if maybe that would jog my memory. And maybe to even make a case for the fact that we were a couple. Pictures of a recent trip I had taken to LA. Adam and Cole at the beach. Adam and Cole in front of Mann's Chinese Theater. Adam and Cole in the Ferris wheel on the Santa Monica Pier. I was in the pictures, but I remembered none of it. I wrote down everything. I was terrified of forgetting. Every piece of information was precious. Anytime someone told me something, or on the rare occasions when something might come back to me on its own, I wrote it down. You are a vegetarian. We are at war with Iraq. Kristen is your friend who is slutty. One afternoon, I was in a cab, coming home from physical therapy, going over the Queensboro Bridge. I noticed the hole in the skyline where the Twin Towers used to be. My accident happened in November of 2001, and this was a month or so after that. I thought, that's funny. I wrote it down on a Post-it note. Twin Towers, gone.
Thank you, Leah.
Next, we have Jonathan, who is also performing in the category of humor. His speech is bound to make you hungry.
Of course it does. Greta.
It does.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it.
Rock and roll McDonald's, rock and roll McDonald's, rock and roll McDonald's.
What? The messenger has arrived. Oh, goody, Burger King. What news does Sonic bring? Allow me to first observe the disclosed information within. What does it say, my liege? The health nuts have declared war on us. The health nuts, a threat to the stability of Driftwood for eons, since the foundation of its foundation. Picture this. You're sitting in your mom's car, driving past McDonald's, and you ask to get something, and she says, "No, we have food at home." But the food at home is a plate of Brussels sprouts. The defeat, the sadness, the loss you suffer. Well, in this story, the health nuts, who hate fast food and love healthy stuff, like a crazy person, start rebelling against the kingdom of Driftwood, until the two proudest nobles, Basket and Robin, set out to destroy the health nuts once and for all in this fast food fairy tale by Mitchell and Mom. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba! Summon Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders, the man who invented one of the most ingenious weapons to fight against the health nuts, the fried chicken. It took the health benefits of simple protein and fried it in liquid grease. His name was Colonel with a K, Frederick with an F, and Canders with a C. He went by his initials, KFC. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Yes, Lord, what is that bid? The health nuts have begun an uprising. My greasy chicken tenders. Our preparations must begin. Shall we invite Chick-fil-A? No! That's a Christian company. He's too controversial to make fun of. Good point. My queen.
Yes, my king.
It is time to use the one onion ring to rule them all. Preparations began thusly. From the top of Mountain Dew to the bottom of Fantasy, the queen called on her most loyal servants, Baskin and Robin, commanding them this. You must journey to the edge of Driftwood, where food is no longer fast, carrying only this. One onion ring to rule them all. And you must. One onion ring to rule them all?
Yes, Robin. Please stop interrupting me. And you must journey to the top of the mountain and drop this onion ring into the liquid carbonation of the mountain. This will cause it to fissure over and destroy the health nuts once and for all. I read that in a book once.
A book?
Yes, the ancient scrolls of Diabetica, upon which our laws are based.
The two began their journey. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Says on the map we need to cut through some fields on our way to Beaconville. Whoa! This is a massive farm. The two are on a massive farm. This field must be Farm McDonald's. I've heard that once he joined the drive-through forces, child obesity skyrocketed. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. After journeying hours in the correct direction, they found themselves. Then they spied on a small hut on the drive-through Beaconville border.
Hello, fellow fast food friends. My name is Duncan, more famously known as Dunkin' Donuts. Second in the drive-through Munich man, only to Colonel Sanders.
Dunkin' Donuts, pleased to meet you, sir. We're lost in the directions to Mountain Dew.
Mount Dew. Why on earth would you want to go there? That's in Veganville.
We're on a mission from the Queen there to drop the one onion ring to rule them all into the mountain and destroy the health nuts once and for all. Say, where is this little tent?
This little tent is on the frontier against the health nuts. You know, it's Pizza Hut.
Whoa, that's fucking wonderful. Where can we find Mountain Dew?
Like, how we get there?
Yes, how'd you get there?
You should take the subway.
Choo-choo. The two got off the subway at Veganville, a dark and distraught place where the food made people feel good about themselves. Ugh, ridiculous.
Wah-ha-ha-ha-ha. Behold, it is I, Whole Foods. I put holes in food like you.
So that's how it is. I'll take on this grass-fed abomination.
I will smear you like hummus.
Come at me, bro.
We aren't even related, but hey, bruh. You're stronger than I expected. I've had a flavor theory.
Just one flavor, but I have 31 in all. Basket beats the ever-living gluten out of Whole Foods.
You've defeated me. How did you do it?
You really want to know?
Yes, tell me. I must learn from you.
Because I'm Baskin. Baskin and Robin, I kinda helped. The two, having defeated Whole Foods, marched the rest of the distance to Mountain Dew, a bubbling cauldron of green acidic sugar. They totally. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Holy whoppers, Robin. This is Mountain Dew. Baskin, Duncan the one in the ring to roll them all. I mean, you are the hero. Thanks, Robin. Here we go. This is secure this land of healthiness and come out victor in this 10-minute war. This is for freedom! the volcanic explosion that followed, rather than destroy the Hellnuts, combined the two kingdoms' power, becoming the all-powerful abomination known only as the Church Potluck.
Wow, thank you, Jonathan. That was fantastic.
Next, we have Elise performing the category of informative.
Wow, buckle up, put on your helmets, and get ready for liftoff.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me run through that open door. I believe I can fly.
Defying gravity is not just for witches. Over the years, ordinary people have discovered extraordinary things, especially when it comes to military aviation. From the first ideas of flight to today's sophisticated jet engines and supersonic speeds, airplanes have come a long way in a relatively short time. And this evolution can be traced through distinct phases, each marked by groundbreaking achievements and the relentless drive to improve flight speed, safety, and efficiency. So today, let's board the plane and discuss some early concepts of flight. Then we will take off and explore how military aviation has changed over the years. And finally, we will land and discuss the future of military aviation and what it might become. The idea of human flight has fascinated humankind for centuries, evident in ancient myths and drawings of winged creatures. However, the scientific approach did not begin until the late 18th and early 19th centuries, with innovators like Sir George Cayley and Otto Lilienthal laying the foundations. According to the Smithsonian website, Cayley, known as the father of aviation, developed the concept of fixed-winged aircraft and conducted experiments with gliders, demonstrating the principles of lift, thrust, and drag. According to the Wright Brothers National Memorial website, published April 22, 2022, the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright, were marked as the first inventors of the first controlled powered flight on December 17, 1903, in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. The Wright Flyer flew for about 12 seconds and covered about 120 feet. What set the Wright brothers apart was their understanding of control, using wind warping to stabilize and steer the plane. The idea of wind warping is to twist or to bend the wings to control the plane so it doesn't roll. This breakthrough marks the birth of aviation as practical technology. In the early 20th century, planes took off. Literally, they transformed from experimental machines into essential tools for warfare. This information can be found in an article titled Deadly Duo, written by O'Brien Brown, published June 22, 2017 by History.net. During World War I, military aviation saw significant advancements. Allies and Central Powers poured resources into creating military aircraft for various roles, such as dogfighting, bombing, and surveying land. Some famous flying machines you may recognize is the German Fokker DR-1 triplane, you also may recognize as the Red Baron's plane, and the British Shockwave Camel. These two planes, known as the Deadly Duo, were marked as symbols of aerial combat. Although these planes are pretty basic compared to what we have today, it showed everyone just how important planes could be in battle. This exciting time also brought about fantastic advancements in airplane technology. Engines became stronger, which meant planes could fly higher and faster, and lighter, more durable materials were developed. Plus, clever innovations in machine guns allowed them to fire in sync with their propellers, an essential feature for effective dogfights. This was an incredible era of innovation. After World War I, military aviation saw significant advancements in the 1920s and 1930s, known as the Golden Age of Aviation. John F. Gilmartin, in his article Into War Developments, notes that this era brought improvements in aerodynamics, engine reliability, and armament systems. Nations used this post-war period to experiment with aerial technologies. leading to milestones like all-metal aircraft, improved fuel efficiency, and standardized monoplane designs. These innovations boosted military aircraft speed, durability, and combat capabilities, as seen by the Martin Sit F-4 Buzzard, considered the best of its time. International air races and exhibitions spurred competition among manufacturers, with events like the Schneider Trophy showcasing. The Schneider Trophy Showcase was an event where nations could demonstrate their innovations through seaplane technology in a competitive race. This competitive atmosphere encouraged the development of faster, more agile planes, influencing military designs directly. This era also brought about the publicizing of specialized military aircraft, with bombers and fighters tailored to specific mission requirements, laying the groundwork for diverse range military aircraft that followed. World War II was a revolutionary period in the evolution of military aviation, with aircraft like the North American P-51 Mustang, the Supermarine Spitfire, and Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress were all pivotal across different theaters of war. According to the article titled North American P-51 Mustang from the World War II National Museum, the P-51 Mustang exemplified this era's technological leap, providing unmatched range and performance. One of the most groundbreaking innovations of the war was jet propulsion. In 1944, the German Messerschmitt Me-262 became the first operational jet-powered fighter, signaling the dawn of a new era. This advancement not only impacted the war, but also set the stage for post-war jet technology that followed. According to the article titled Convair B-58 Hustler from the National Museum of the United States Air Force, this era saw jet-powered aircraft become standardized in military fleets worldwide, with fighters like the MiG-15 and Lockheed F-86 dominating the skies during the Korean War, showcasing the supremacy of jet propulsion. This era also introduced supersonic flight, with aircraft like the McDonnell Douglas F-4 and 2 and the Firefly 2 pushing the boundaries of speed and fire. Nuclear deterrent strategies during the Cold War involved the development of advanced bombers like the Boeing B-52 Stratofortress, which remains in service today. These innovations emphasized long-range capabilities and the ability to carry nuclear payloads, making military aircraft central to global security strategies. In conclusion, the evolution of military aviation from basic biplanes to advanced jet-powered platforms reflects the relentless drive for innovation and technological superiority. Each era brought innovations that boosted that got military air. As hypersonic speeds and independent systems loom on the horizon, the future of military aviation promises to be as groundbreaking as it has in the past.
Thank you, Elias.
You know, Max, sometimes I think you're a plane. You're quite tall, and you make a lot of noise.
Anyway, something really weird that happened to me today.
What's that?
Ellen bit me. Someone needs to put it on a leash.
Now she's gonna bark on and on about her OO. What a treat.
OO is a public address category that is 10 minutes long, and you write your persuasive essay on a topic of your choice.
Good luck, Ellen. Let's welcome her to the stage.
At the age of 10, I was determined to get a pet. So, I made a slideshow explaining to my parents why I should adopt. Of course, at the time, that slideshow was filled with ideas like, dogs are so cute and soft! But the main reason that I wanted a pet was for companionship. Everybody knows the saying, a dog is a man's best friend. This is true for me. On February 22nd, 2019, I got my golden retriever, Abby. Because of her, I've had the opportunity to learn about responsibility, compassion, and patience. In 2020, Edwin Plotz, an advisor of Policy.com, found that 54% of households in Minnesota own a pet. Of that percentage, 35.5% own a dog and 26.5% own a cat. In 2025, Johns Hopkins Medicine stated that levels of cortisol decrease when people pet a dog. They also found that levels of oxytocin increase when people are around pets. As you can see, having a pet benefits us and teaches us important life lessons. Unfortunately, in today's economy, there are numerous barriers that make pet ownership difficult for many people, including lengthy pet adoption processes, the cost of owning a pet, and housing restrictions. These barriers make prospective pet ownership impossible for thousands of people, and I hope to find some solutions to overcome them. Today, I'll explain the benefits of owning a pet, explore the barriers to pet ownership, and finally, analyze and solve these barriers to make getting a pet and owning one more accessible for the people who wish to own one. Pets can greatly impact one's mental and physical health. The Pet Food Institute, a nonprofit organization in Washington, D.C., says that having a pet can reduce the odds of having heart-related issues, like cardiovascular diseases. Heart attack survivors between the ages of 50 and 95 with pets have a lower blood sugar and blood pressure. When you walk a dog consistently, your physical health can be influenced. Over time, it can help to strengthen bones, joints, muscles. Pets help set a routine, which can be extremely beneficial. The Mental Health Foundation says that people with hyperactivity can benefit from this pet routine and use pets effectively to release excess energy, especially children. Tracy Trotner from the Michigan State University Extension says that pets can teach children 3 fundamental life skills: responsibility, trust, and compassion. Children's Hospital Colorado says that pets can help support emotional regulation within children and help children learn nonverbal communication skills. Now, owning a pet comes with endless benefits, but there are some challenges potential pet owners might face. Adoption is a great and typically inexpensive way of obtaining a pet, right? Well, yes and no. Adoption is free. It can help keep animals out of shelters and give them a loving home, but it's not always necessarily easy or cheap. In 2023, Dog Time wrote an article titled "Why Do Rescues Make It So Hard to Adopt a Dog?" Filling out an application form is the first step. Next is an interview before finally having a meet and greet between you and your pet before you get to take them home. This can be a very long and tedious process, and some agencies can be extremely picky. In 2021, Human Animal Support Services built a list of 27 common practices and policies that exclude adopters. Some of these barriers include mandatory background checks, home inspections, and, of course, the cost. Pet Haven in Minneapolis is an adoption center. The cost of adopting a single cat from here ranges from $100 to $260. And if you're thinking about adopting a dog, well, that can be anywhere from $250 to $550. Even if you meet these mandatory requirements and can afford to adopt a pet, there are still other setbacks you could face, like paying pet rent, the cost of veterinary bills, and the cost of pet food. By learning about these barriers, I'm going to provide some solutions so that more people can have access to the benefits of pets. Adopting a pet is both a personal and community issue. Some ways to beat adoption barriers are to simplify the application process and adjust adoption fees. Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Utah is dedicated to helping shelter animals find a home and put an end to kill shelters. As of 2023, 62% of shelters in the United States were no-kill. But that still leaves millions of animals to be euthanized every single year. Many of these animals will end up in shelters because their owners can't care for them properly, whether it be emotionally, physically, or financially.
an article published by the Living Tree on August 19th, 2024, says that 41% of pet owners are struggling to afford the rising cost of pet food. Part of what makes this pet food so expensive is the tax on it. Sales rate tax in Minnesota ranges from 6.8 to 8.3%. If necessary food for humans aren't taxed, then why should necessary food for pets be? Earlier this year in February, Mary Gonzalez, a state representative in Texas, proposed for pet food to be exempt from sales tax. By getting rid of this tax, we can come one step closer to help improve the accessibility of pets. But there are still some other actions that we can take. One way to avoid paying pet rent is by negotiating with your landlord. By stating examples as to how your pet is not harmed to the building, you might be able to get them to lower the cost of pet rent that they have set up for your animal. Assembly Bill 2216 in California makes an effort to help protect renters who own pets by regulating pet-related laws. This helps limit pet deposits and eliminates pet rent. By following through with these solutions, we as a society can help make pets more accessible to the people who dream of owning one. Today, by providing information about the benefits of pets and the barriers to pet ownership, I've come up with some possible solutions. Novice Care describes companionship as a basic human need. Pets are companions. Without them, life would look dull, sad, and lonely. My dog Abby helps out to make my life vibrant and fun. Now, before I leave, I'm gonna ask each and every single one of you to reflect on your lives. Don't worry, it's just for a moment. Has there ever been a time where you felt alone or sad? Now think, how would you feel if you had someone by your side throughout your entire experience? Perhaps a pet.
Thank you, Ellen. That was fantastic.
Ellen is following in Katie's footsteps. I remember when me and Ellen's pugs used to date. They were both one-eyed and then they died.
Please welcome our first storyteller to the stage.
Maxo. Okay, so storytelling is a 7-minute interpretation of 15 different stories from the Gutenberg Project.
He will get all crabby if you don't listen, so get ready for an under-the-water adventure. Let's welcome Maxim to the stage.
We've all wanted to change something about ourselves at one moment in time. Maybe it was dyeing your hair red and giving yourself a side part, or maybe really wanting to get a spray tan so you can look the best you can for prom. Well, sometimes that's not always the answer, like we learned in the Little Pine Tree as found in the Gutenberg Project. Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, back when heroin was in cough syrup and mercury was medicine, there's this little pine tree out in the great forest, and he wasn't like the rest of the trees out there. Look at all these trees, strong oaks, majestic birches, and sugar-filled maples. You know what they all have in common? Leaves. Wanna know what I have? Needles. I wish I had leaves so I could be like the rest of them. Better yet, I wish for gold leaves so I can be better than the rest of them. Night came, and all the trees were asleep, and there was a beautiful fairy with the voice of an angel flying across the land. Oh my gosh! There's that little pine tree. He wanted normal gold leaves. I got you, kid. Bippy, Boppy, Bonanza. I hope you like your gold leaves, kid. That morning, the little tree woke up and he had his gold leaves. Look at me, I'm the king of the forest. I love these gold leaves. these are the best thing ever. Until it wasn't. Night came along again, and there was this strange old man walking around the forest. You all see that tree? Now, I don't think it's quite pruning season yet, but those leaves gotta go. Don't worry, I'm an environmentalist. They ain't going to the dump. They're going in my wallet. So this poor tree woke up with no leaves. I'm naked and afraid. Besides, my kicks just aren't what they used to be. You know what? I don't want gold leaves anymore. I want glass leaves so I can shimmer in the sun. So night came around once again, and so did our favorite little fairy. Oh, I heard about those leaves, kid. That's a shame. Don't worry, I got you. Tippy, boppity, bonanza. I hope these leaves stick around a little bit longer. So the next morning, this tree woke up and he had his glass leaves. Look at me, shimmering in the sun. You know, maybe if I lean just right, I could light an ant on fire. This, once again, is the best thing ever. Until it wasn't. It was awfully windy that day, and the wind had blown every single one of his leaves off, making them shatter on the ground. He was done with wanting all these extravagant leaves and decided to wish for normal leaves. And so when night came around again, our fairy friend did too. That's too bad. Once again, don't worry, I'm your fairy godmother. At least I might as well be. Beepy, boppity, bonanza. Alright, I'm getting sick of this. Let's hope this is the last time. So once again, the sun came up and the tree awoke, and he had his normal leaves. You know what? There's nothing special about these leaves, but I think I'm just fine with them. Little did he know that there was a predator out in the woods that day, one of the most dangerous predators of all. A goat. How about leaves? That goat ended up eating every single one of the leaves on that tree, leaving it once again naked. You know what? I'm sick of this. I think I just want my needles again. I wish for my needles. So then, when he fell asleep that night, the fairy came around for one last time. You know, I knew you were gonna revert back eventually. Beepy, boppity, bonanza. Now, let's hope this is the very last time. So, when the tree awoke, he had his normal needles once again. You know what? I'm not too special, and I'm different from everyone, but I think I'm happy like this. Now, what we can learn from this story is that you may want to dye your hair red, or dye it blue and cut it really short, or give yourself a spray tan, but really, those might not be the answers to happiness. And really, the best way to be happy is to be happy with yourself.
Wow, thank you, Maxim. Storytelling can be so unpredictable. Like now, bippity, boppity, bonanza. Wow. We will now have our 10-minute intermission. Thank you.
I think you went off
was gonna add on like a year of this mom and another cat. You look unhappy. What happened? All my pugs? As invited me? Oh, Benson. She told me to say that. Oh, no. Seems like Max is in a circle.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna walk slow just so I can hear like my walking song. Is that like my walking song? I can hear more of it. Me too. I love sheep. I love sheep. I got that.
Is the thing still going?
It's frozen.
Little thing? Michelle, off the top of your head, I don't get my mics anymore, right?
See? Not anymore.
Okay, so since it's frozen, you either restart it or you either have to restart the stream or do something else.
Because when it freezes, it doesn't really unfreeze because there's too much movement in front of it. So you can try and restart it or something else, but however you unfreeze it, you gotta unfreeze it.
Hayden, this is him. The same voices, and then I'm God, and then we get the same voices. It was so dumb. The section judges will love you.
Yeah,
No, I thought.
That's right. You still should. I guess it's a fun. I was gonna say you still should. You guys
Ribbity bobbity boots. You see you went on Walmart.
Hello and welcome back from intermission.
Next up, we have Aubrey, who's performing in humorous interpretation.
Keep your mids off her stuff.
Let's welcome Aubrey to the stage.
I'm just a girl in the world. That's all that you'll let me be. My name is Junie B. Jones. The B stands for Beatrice, except I
kiss. I just like B, and that's all. I'm in the grade kindergarten. My room number is near room 9. I have 2 best friends in that place. One of them is Lucille. Oh, where is Lucille? I can't find her. You know, maybe she's just late, or else maybe something went wrong at her house. Yeah, maybe her grandpa brought a pair to her house, and while she was getting dressed, it flew all around her room and got all tangled up in her hair. Only, I didn't tell you that. She's just Dorothea. Once upon a time, my grandfather named Frank Miller went to the store and bought me some new fuzzy mittens. They made out of black furry fur. And guess what? It wasn't even my birthday or Christmas. He just bought them for no good reason. And that is the bestest reason I've ever heard of. The end. I'm wearing my new mittens with my interactive winter jacket. And it's even cold enough. Who cares? This outfit looks very good together. Have you ever had something stolen from you? Or, better question, have you ever stolen something? Personally, I haven't stolen anything. But I remember in kindergarten when Kylie Emery stole my favorite dandelion yellow crayon. We've been sworn enemies ever since. But when Ginny B's new black fuzzy mittens are stolen, she finds a wonderful pen of many colors because finding speakers loses weepers, right? Will she serve jail time, or will she live a wonderful life in Ginny Jones is Not a Crook by Allison Gregory, adapted from the book series by Barbara Park. Bring! Lucille! Lucille is way beautifuler than me. That's because her Nana buys her fancy dresses. Plus, she's fleecy socks with ribbons on them. Look, Lucille, look my new furry mittens. My grandpa Frank Miller just bought them for me. My family has lots of fur. My Nana just bought a brand new mink coat. Only she can't wear it outside, or else people will throw paint at her. Why, Lucille? Why would people throw paint at your Nana? Animals' rights activists. I feel relief in me, because I'm not even a Nana, that's why. Plus, my mittens aren't even made out of real furry animals, they're made out of fake furry animals. So that kind doesn't even count. Look, everybody! Look at my brand new mittens! My grandpa Frank Miller bought them for no good reason. How many children see these lovely things? Raise your hands! Fonder sights, everyone. My teacher's name is Miss. She has another name too, but I just like calling her Miss. Look, Miss, look at my new gorgeous mittens. See how soft they are. Ooh, they are soft, Judy Bite. Be sure to keep them in your jacket pockets so they won't get lost, okay? Yeah, only here's the thing. I'm not gonna lose my mittens. I'm gonna wear them right in my hands. See, Lucille? See my hands of fur? You're being annoying. Say, mittens. These are how fur hands look when they're no longer my possession. You can have them back at recess. Not polite if you take your sight. So you want to be friends again, Lucille? That'd be very nice of us, don't you think? No, you only want to be friends again so you can steal my new boyfriend. How can I even steal him from you, Lucille? Because you're way beautifuler than me. Plus, I'm not even a stealer. See my new socks? $80.50. Not including tax. Wow, 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 those some fancy feet you got there. See mine? They're very sand droopy. Ew, I know they are you. So now we're friends again, right, Lucille? So now you're gonna introduce me to Handsome Warren. Because I wouldn't even steal that guy. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Yeah. Everybody, hey, everybody! Lucille said she'll think about it. What? Johnny Pie, never ever sit up in your chair. You can fall over and break something. Now stay in your seat, young lady. After that, I sit in my chair very good. Plus, I did all my work. Also, I drew a sausage patty on my arm. Only that wasn't even an assignment. That is called working on your own. Okay, everyone, it's time for recess. Polite, go on about the door. Bring. Oh, it's good to be back with you again. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la! I'm gonna die from heat perspiration. I'm gonna place my jacket and mittens in the careful pile, just for now. There he is. This is Jeannie B. Jones. Do you like my new dress wear? My nanny just bought it for me. She said it was precious. Sure. Boom! I see you. What nutball? Don't you just love him, Judy B? He's so handsome. He said it was nutball. How many think I'm a nutball? Raise your hand. I tried to hurry up and get my stuff, except I couldn't stop thinking about being a nutball. Hey, wait a minute. Where's my... But guess what? I saw something terrible, that's what. And it's called... Somebody stole my mittens.
Thank you, Aubrey.
I certainly know not to touch her stuff now.
Next, we have Morgan, who's performing original oratory.
Get ready to grab that toothbrush and pick out that broccoli out of your teeth. Give a nice warm welcome to Morgan.
Have you ever had a strange old man tell you to smile more? No? Well, if you have, then you would think it was weird and sort of out of the blue. Especially so if he was a stranger. Personally, even when my family tells me to smile more, I think it's really weird. But what if I told you they were right to tell you to smile more? A smile all day makes the doctor go away. Or was it an apple? Anyways, as Dr. Isha Gupta tells us in Nicole Spector's 2017 article, smiling can boost your happiness and your health, that when we smile, we release hormones that cause us to feel happy, which does, in fact, make the doctors go away. Because in a 2023 article from Scripps, they tell us that when we're happy, there's a lower risk for health concerns like high blood pressure, heart disease, and strokes. Now that's implying a simple smile can help save you from these conditions. Having this in mind, let's ask ourselves, how can we use this to better our lives and the lives of those around us? So today, let's first discuss why smiling is contagious, jump into the science behind the smile, and finally, dig into some ways you should use smiling on a daily basis. Do you just ever have that urge to smile randomly? I know I have, and there are many reasons to explain this strange phenomenon. And one of them is that you're remembering that really embarrassing moment from 6th grade where you dyed your hair bright blue, cut it really short, and rocked that look for over a year. Another, less specific reason, is that somebody could be smiling you and you're subconsciously seeing their smile without realizing it. The Many Smiles collaboration took a test where they took over 3,800 participants from 19 different countries. Their results found a significant increase in happiness after participating people saw mimicked people in photos who were smiling. They also did this other test called the pen and mouth method. And if you're unfamiliar with that, that's where you put a pen in between your teeth, and that's supposed to cause you to start smiling, but they found no significant increase in happiness. These results show that we release hormones that cause us to feel happy when we see a smile. That means you could fake a smile, look in a mirror, and you would feel the need to have an actual smile. Your body releases hormones that cause you to smile, where you're actively looking at yourself faking a smile. Isn't that cool? We now know the result of seeing someone smile, but let's ask ourselves, why? Why do we smile? What's the science behind our smiles? Before we dive into that question, you should know this fun fact. I worked out today. It takes 13 muscles to smile. And when you smile, you can see you're working out because you're using those muscles constantly. That means you're burning calories. And granted, they might be in small amounts, but you're still burning calories. When we smile, it starts with the sensory corridors, and that in turn sends signals to the left anterior temporal region of the brain. According to a 2023 report from the University of Carlsbad, the brain then sends signals to two major muscles in the face, the orbicular oculi and the zygomatic major. The zygomatic major is located in our cheeks, and it turns it upwards. The orbicular oculi is located on the outside of our eyes, and it squeezes the outside of our lips. Smiling can happen within fractions of a second. You can also tell if a smile is fake. When the zygomatic major is the only one of those two muscles activated, the smile is fake. The orbicular oculi will not activate unless you genuinely think about using that muscle. Your brain loves the smile though. Your brain will just see a smile and it will want to start smiling. It's an unconscious and automatic reaction. Like I said at the beginning of the speech, you don't have to register that you saw a smile. It just has to be somewhere in your vision. Do you want to look younger? Well, I know you do. Well, guess what? I have the perfect remedy, and you'll never guess what it is. A smile. Melissa Hughes has spent a big portion of her life studying neuroscience. She tells us in her 2024 paper titled "The Science Behind a Smile" that we appear attractive, confident, and younger when we smile. She also states that people who smile more tend to have a lot healthier and longer marriages than those who don't smile as often. Some people use smiling as a way to calm down and bring up their mood. Even smiling for 10 to 15 seconds a day can do this. Smiling helps you feel less stressed, transform your mood, and put things into a different perspective. I told you all about the psychology, science, and benefits of smiling, but how can we actually use this information? Well, you can start by making a ripple effect. Smile at people everywhere you go. Even if they are strangers, they will most likely start smiling at you in return, and then they'll go start smiling at others. You are giving off good vibes, and people will want to be around you more because of it. Research from the Intermountain Health in their 2022 article titled "The Real Health Benefits of Smiling and Laughing" states that people go towards others in a workspace environment who smile. They also state that people who go towards others who have a positive attitude, and that positive attitude comes from a simple smile. It's necessary to smile, and we should smile, as it automatically betters our mental and physical health. Smiling is so important to our everyday lives. It helps us feel better about ourselves, and other people feel better. So the next time a strange old man tells you to smile more, you should show him those pearly whites.
Thank you, Morgan.
Next, we will have Kylie, who is also performing in storytelling. Time for a character from my favorite movie, Shrek.
Shrek?
No.
Donkey?
No.
Rumpelstiltskin?
No! You'll just have to find out and see. Please welcome Kylie to the stage.
Gambling. I used to gamble all the time as a kid, and I'm sure a lot of you have done it at least once in your lives. Well, for me, I never lost, because I know how to play my cards right and smart every time. In this story, we're going to learn about a cat and his master who decide it'd be a great idea to take a gamble, a risk, in tricking a king. Will he find success, or will they meet the guillotine? This is Puss in Boots, as found in the Gutenberg Project. Once upon a time, in a land far, far, far away, there lived a miller. This miller had 3 sons and 3 possessions stored out among them. The oldest would take the mill, the middle child took the donkey, and the youngest was stuck with their pet cat. Why am I stuck with a stupid cat? At least my brothers can do something with what they got. I can't do anything with a cat. Maybe I can eat it, and then I can turn its fur into some fuzzy mittens. Then I can just die of starvation. You do not want to do that. The cat miraculously started talking. After a bit of calming down, Puss decided to tell his master why he started talking. For you see, I am Puss without boots. If you get me a pair of boots and, let's say, a pouch, I could make you richer than your wildest dreams. Why on earth should I believe you? You're just a cat. But you're quite a clever cat. I've seen how you catch mice. Now tricky you are.
Okay, deal.
The young master took a chance on his cat, rushed off to town, bought these things, and came right back.
All right, cat, I can see what you'd need the pouch for, but what on earth do you need a pair of boots for?
I need that swear. Puss in Boots rushed off into the woods, leaving his master all by himself. As he kept walking and walking, Puss finally found what he was looking for. All right, what is it? What is it? There it is. Hello, little rabbit. Why don't you just hop into my pouch? Gotcha! Ha ha! After he killed the rabbit he had caught, he brought it into town to sell it to someone who'd be willing to buy. All right, who'd be willing to take a pouch and a rabbit from a cat? Oh, well, the castle doors are right open. Puss in Boots marched himself right into the palace like he owned the place. He walked and walked until he finally came to the throne room. Right. Your Majesty, I am Puss in Boots, and I am brought before you a rabbit. Servant, why on earth is there a cat in here with the rabbit? I mean, hello, cat. And whom would you serve? I serve the Marquis of Carabas, and he is brought before you a rabbit. The king took this from this strange cat and sent him away with great gratitude and promise of money if he kept doing it. Puss and his master continued this cycle for a few more months until Puss decided it was no longer enough. All right, how could I trick the king into giving us more money? The further upriver. Young master, how about you go bathe in this river? For if you do, then you will be richer than your wildest dreams.
Well, you weren't wrong about getting money last time, so I'm sure you can't be wrong this time either.
Puss in Boots had convinced his master to jump into the stream, throwing off all his clothes and setting them on a nearby rock. When suddenly, a thief, a rogue, a monstrosity came along. Puss in Boots came, took his master's clothes, and hid them under a great big boulder. As the master screamed out, wondering where his clothes went, he rushed to the king's carriage, which was further upstream. Your Majesty, a huge problem has happened. You see, my master, the Marquis of Carabas, mind you, the one who has been giving you food and many hunts for the past few months, is downriver, and he is clothless, for a rogue has come along and stolen all of his clothing. Well, that's not good. I suppose, servant, bring this young master some of the finest clothing. The servant went, gave Puss's master nice clothing, and the master came out, just as the princess had come out of the carriage. Daddy, 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 I want him. He's so handsome in his fancy clothing. No, you will not be marrying this young master, for he has not gotten enough credit among my kingdom.
Well, why don't you come go for a ride with us? Maybe then my dad will agree.
The young master got into the carriage as Puss ran ahead to make sure everything was perfectly fine. As he kept running, however, he came across a lovely castle that he knew belonged to an ogre. This palace belongs to an ogre. I know the ogre can shapeshift. Maybe I can trick him. Is anybody home? Who is it? Oh, why are you here, cat? Oh. Hello there, random ogre I've never met before in my life. I am Puss in Boots. I was sent by your friends to come and talk to you. Puss in Boots smelled the great feast inside and knew for a fact that the ogre was inviting his friends to come later that evening. Puss in Boots was invited inside, and after a bit of talking, the ogre started to wonder why he was there. So, why on earth is a cat here? Well, I was here to grant you some great advice and great respect for all the things that you could do. You know, I heard that you could turn into the mightiest of things, or the smallest of things. But I doubt that you could turn into anything small, like a gerbil, a hamster, or even a mouse. I can too turn into a mouse, just watch me. The ogre swiftly turned into a mouse, and if you know anything about cats and mice, Puss in Boots ate him swiftly. As the king's carriage rode along the path, Puss in Boots rushed out to meet them. Your Majesty, this castle castle belongs to the Marquis of Carabas. It does? I mean, of course it does. As they were invited inside, they ate the great feast that the ogre had set out for his friends, but his friends, seeing the army of the king, rushed away immediately. Puss in Boots and his master had gotten great credit among the king, so much so that the princess and the Marquis of Carabas were married that same day. Puss in Boots became a great lord and never hunted for mice again, unless, of course, he wanted to. The moral of this story is take a risk, because with great risk comes great reward.
Kylie, I have a cat. Michael Phelps Kuhn. The woman. Love her.
Please welcome Rachel to the stage for OO. You know, Max, I was at Woody's the other day, getting some honey buns. I love honey buns. And I thought it was strange. All of these little kids were buying up all the energy drinks, like Alani and Monster Energy, which is strange because they're not for little kids.
That's so interesting. I wonder why that happened.
I think Rachel might have some answers.
Please welcome Rachel to the stage.
Earlier this year, I had a school project where we read to little kindergartners in small groups. When it wasn't my turn to read, I was visually exploring the intensely decorated room and noticed something off-putting. Some of the girls had mascara on, and the more I looked, the more it became apparent to me that some of these girls had their hair curled, and some of their outfits looked fit for people 3 times their age. Sephora. It's a place where everyone is welcome, even 5-year-old girls. And recently, whether on social media or in public, these girls have been making a more recurring appearance. And they are known as Sephora kids. But who are they and why are they so drawn to skincare and makeup? First, we'll learn about who the Sephora kids are. Next, we'll talk about ways marketing strategies are drawing children in. Then we'll talk about ways marketers are manipulating children. And finally, we'll talk about how we can make a change. According to a January 2020 article, Urban Food Policy Institute article titled Reducing Predatory Marketing on Food and Beverages in New York City, states that predatory marketing is described as the disproportionate marketing of unhealthy products to a certain population by using aggressive, emotional, misleading, and persuasive strategies. This demonstrates how marketers are targeting children by using misleading and attractive packaging. If I were to show you 2 different color palettes at the same time, one with neutrals and the other with sparkly bold colors, a 2021 clinical trial published in the National Library of Medicine shows that you would almost immediately look at the sparkly bold palette. Marketing teams are using this strategy to attract people, especially children, into buying their products. A 2022 Packaging Gateway article titled The Power of Packaging Colors, Influencing Kids' Buying Behavior, published by Amar Fafana, states that colors in product packaging influences kids' choices and behaviors by capturing their attention and evoking emotions such as excitement or familiarity. Marketing team, this is direct evidence that marketers are using specific colors to target children. And whether they know it or not, children are the main victims of this marketing tactic. Vaping companies use similar tactics, as they use vibrant colors and mouth-watering flavors to draw school-age children into buying their products. They've even gone as far as to make vape pens that look identical to highlighters, showing how they purposely target children and teens because no one over the age of 20 is going to choose the highlighter over your standard everyday vape pen. Other industries that are clearly using manipulative marketing strategies is the energy drink industry. When I think of the trending energy drink Alani Nu, what comes to mind is the pretty font and vibrant colors. While having attention-grabbing packaging is great for sales, the majority of adults look for quality over aesthetics. As I mentioned earlier, our eyes are naturally drawn towards bright colors. So obviously a little girl walking through the beverage aisle is going to choose the pink sparkly Alani,
over the basic boring white energy drink. If Alani had similar packaging to the rest, children would be less attracted to it. As you can see, children are being exposed to dangerous products through manipulative marketing. So how can we make a change and protect these children from predatory advertising? To start on a personal level, we can educate children the differences between persuasive and non-persuasive content, so they learn at a younger age that what they're doing now is altering their health and behavior. On a larger scale, the government should protect these children by finding specific companies that directly market towards them. Some popular brands that come to mind are skincare brands Sol de Janeiro and Bioma, Alani, and many, many more. Several laws already exist to help limit the amount of unnecessary advertising towards children, such as the Kids Online Safety Act, which was introduced in 2023. This bill aimed to limit the amount of deceptive marketing practices and keep this social media a safer place for children. However, this law did not make it through the Senate and was not passed. One law that is in place, however, is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA, which regulates how companies share and collect data and advertise to children. However, this law is dated back to 1998, 27 years ago. It was updated recently in January of 2024. However, jobs have been created like influencers, brand ambassadors, and graphic design has dramatically advanced. COPPA does not accommodate this new way of marketing. The Federal Trade Commission has added how parents must give verifiable consent before any personal information is given. In theory, this does work, except I know most of you in here at some point have lied about your age when creating a social media account. Who's to say these children aren't doing the same? We can work to update this law by evaluating and noticing how social media has changed over those past 27 years. After all, most social media we have today wasn't popular or very successful just 10 years ago. Social media platforms can contribute to this as well by requiring facial analyzers and or multiple forms of identification along with a picture of yourself to prove that the person making the account is of age and able to use the platform safely. Implementing more age verification methods will make it harder to lie about your age and overall make social media and the internet a safer place for everyone, especially children. So today, we learned about who a Sephora kid was. We learned about all of the manipulative marketing strategies and how marketers are manipulating children. Finally, we saw how we can make a change. We can never truly know why those kindergartners were wearing mascara or crop t-shirts, whether they were inspired by their favorite TikToker or stole the makeup from their parents' bathroom. Hopefully, now next time you find yourself mindlessly scrolling on TikTok, you can try and be aware and catch when influencers are trying to sell you unnecessary items.
I feel so knowledgeable now. Okay. Next, we have Helena, who's been performing in storytelling. Holy crap. Storytelling. Helena has been in speech for 6 years, ranging from storytelling to duo to humor, then back to storytelling.
She's also our speech captain. Wow, that's impressive. Please welcome Helena to the stage.
Have you ever been in a group project and thought, man, I'm doing all the work, and everyone else is getting away with it? Well, so did Bird in his living situation. Pitying yourself will get you nowhere, as we can see in The Mouse, the Bird, and the Sausage, as found in the Gutenberg Project. Once upon a time, way before we were all born. Well, maybe not you. A mouse, a bird, and a sausage all miraculously decided to live together. It was decided that Bird would get the wood, Mouse would get the water, and Sausage would cook for them. One day, when Bird was out collecting the wood, he had to break to a fellow bird about his living situation.
I live with a and Mouse and the sausage, and you know it's pretty great. I mean, obviously I have to get the wood, and sure it is strenuous on the wings, but that's nothing compared to Mouse. He has to get the water, and sausage has to cook for us.
So you're telling me that they get the easy jobs, and you're just okay with that?
What? No, they're not the easy jobs. Yeah, you're right. I am doing all the work. Tomorrow, I'm not gonna get the wood. I want to see what they have to say about that.
When Bird went home, he told the others about his decision. And even though they begged and they pleaded with him, Bird had made his choice. So after drawing straws, it was decided that Bird would get the water, Mouse would cook for them, and Sausage would get the wood. Now, a sausage getting the wood went about as well as you would think a sausage getting the wood would go. I mean, he can't really do anything other than roll. So when he didn't come back, the others began to worry.
Where is Sausage? It has been 1,300 hours, and he has not returned. Well, he is just a sausage. He can't really do anything other than roll. Maybe you should go look for him. You know what? That sounds like a great idea. Sausage, where did you go? Are you kidding? You couldn't have gone that far. You could only roll. Where could he be?
When Bird found Sausage, it was too late. Sausage had been eaten by a dog. There was nothing left for Bird to do except for grab the wood that Sausage had somehow collected and bring it home to Mouse.
So, Sausage is dead. But it's okay. We can still move on, right? You can still make supper, right? Okay. Man, Sausage had terrible handwriting. I mean, he didn't really do anything. He kind of just jumped in and rolled around. So, I can do this.
Again, a mouse jumping into a steaming hot pot went about as well as you think it would. He jumped in, but let's just say he didn't jump back out. Bird, being unaware of any of this happening, came back in with the wood, ready for supper. But upon not finding Mouse, he began to worry.
I have the wood. I'm ready. Mouse. Mouse! Mouse, where did you go? 2 friends in one day, are you kidding?
In Bird's panic, he threw up the wood from his hands, and it somehow started on fire.
Man, I'm having terrible luck today. It's okay. I can do this. I have the bucket. Go over to the wall and... Well, that sucks. Well, I'm not tall enough. That's okay.
Not only did Bird drop in his bucket, but he also dropped himself in as well. So what's with everyone dying? It is important to remember to not think too highly of yourself. Be content with what you have, because everyone else is also trying to pull their own weight.
Wow, I sure love that one. I love birds.
Okay. All right, well, thank you so much for coming. Wait, great. What? Bow tie boys.
Bow tie? Or as the judges call them...
Short with glasses.
A tall, brown-haired boy.
The weird, snotty one.
The one lanky, tall man.
Okay, we'll have to find them, but duo interpretation is a category that has some special rules. No touching, no direct eye contact.
I guess we have to find this duo. Let's go look for them. Max!
Graydon! Wait!
Max!
Graydon! Where's Max?
Hello, my name is Rona Lisa Peretti, and I'm pleased to be back for my 9th consecutive year as your host. And this year, to celebrate our local sponsor, the Putnam Optometrists, are sponsoring us with a $200 saving bond towards his or her future education. Unfortunately, our usual word pronouncer, Superintendent Spriggs, has fallen ill. So please join me in welcoming back Vice Principal Douglas Patch. He is returning to us after a 5-year hiatus.
Thank you, Ronald. And now for the official spelling bee rules. A speller may ask questions about a word's pronunciation,
definition,
use in a sentence, and language of origin. If you start to spell the word, you may start over.
But the sequence of letters already spoken may not be changed. If you misspell a word, we will ring the bell. And the comfort counselor, Mitch Mahoney, will escort you off stage.
So, is that understood, spellers?
Yeah.
Yes.
What skill do you got, Tail?
Shut up! Then, without further ado,
let the spelling begin!
I cannot stand the thought of a spelling bee.
Me neither. Getting all dressed up, going to some random school to compete against some nerds.
Anyway, here we meet 5 kids wanting to win it all. Schwartzy, our youngest competitor. She needs a dual rank.
Cody Bear, a homeschooled child of 10 who suffers from ADHD.
Barfy, a kid who thinks he has a magic foot.
Olive, who loves to sit on the toilet reading the dictionary. And finally, Chip, a Boy Scout who's the reigning champion.
Spelling bees are truly wonderful places. You make new friends, find a part of yourself, and maybe find love.
Find out in the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
By Rachel Sheenkin.
Miss Logan Schwartzer-Guberneur is head of the Gay Straight Alliance at her elementary school.
Strabismus.
Strabismus. May I have a definition of that word?
The inability of one eyeball to obtain binocular vision with the other due to an imbalance of the muscles of the eyeball.
And use in a sentence, please.
In the schoolyard, Billy protested that he wasn't cockeyed. I suffer from strabismus, he said. Whereupon the bullies beat him harder.
Strabismus. S-T-R-A-B-I-S-M-U-S. Strabismus.
That is correct, Mr. Cody Bear.
Mr. Cody Bear was the second runner-up in the Putnam Basin District. Capybara.
What?
Your word is capybara.
What does it mean?
A South American rodent, often exceeding 4.5 feet in length.
Awesome. Oh, can you use it in a sentence?
Yes. Don't look now, Pedro, but I think that South American rodent, often exceeding 4.5 feet in length, following you might be a capybara.
Wow. That didn't help at all. Capybara. C-A-P-Y-B-A-R-T-A! Capybara?
That is correct!
Wow, I can't believe it! I just said the first letters that came to my head!
Miss Ostrowski, Miss Oliver Ostrowski came second place in our Halloween's costume contest.
That was roadkill.
Boyanthropy.
For entropy, may I have the definition?
The delusion that one has suddenly become an ox.
For entropy, B-O-A-N-T-H-R-O-P-Y. For empathy.
That is correct, Mr. Barfy. It's pronounced Barfay. There's an accent. You.
Mr. Barfy suffers from a rare mucous membrane disorder. Lugubrious.
Lugubrious. Yes, of course. Meaning extremely sad and droopy.
More or less, yes.
A topic item. All too familiar with. One moment, please.
Watch this technique. He calls it the magic foot, and he's the only one I've ever seen use it. He spells the word out on the floor so he gets a visual. Then he speaks it out loud. Just incredible.
Magic foot. It's an alpha, better way to spell. Magic foot. Magic foot. Spell the goddamn letter. Lugubrious. L-U-G-U-B-R-I-O-U-S. Lugubrious.
That is correct.
I know.
Miss Logan Schwarzengerbenair has proposed a constitutional amendment lowering the voting age to 10. Cystitis.
Cystitis? May I have a definition of that word?
An inflammation of the urinary bladder.
And use in a sentence, please.
Sally's mother told her it was her cystitis that made her special.
Cystitis. C-Y-S-I-T-I-S-I-S. Cystitis.
That is correct. Mr. Coney Bear.
Mr. Coney Bear makes his own clothes. A coochie.
A what?
Your word is a coochie.
Had a spelling bee?
It means a South American rodent from the genus Microptia, often resembling an agouti.
It's funny how I keep getting South American rodents.
Hilarious.
Look, honestly, I've never heard of this word before.
Mr. Coney Bear, a coochie.
Right. A coochie. A rodent resembling the other rodent. What was the name? A-C-O-U-C-H-I! A coochie?
That is correct, Mr. Tolentino. Mr. Chip Tolentino, your word is tida.
What?
Tida.
What does it mean?
It means lively movement or behavior, or to move restlessly. It often refers to sounds of horses' hooves. Tida, 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 neigh!
Tit up. T-I-T, tit. Oh, God! You. No, go back! Hey, you heard both T's, right? Okay, rewind. T-I-T-T-U-P, tit up.
Ding! I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
That's not fair! I got it right! I can't get on the word I spelled right! William, Roy, I'm Olive.
I know your name. A person named after a vegetable.
It's actually a fruit.
Well, it's a disgusting fruit, and I can't keep them down.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's okay for a name, though.
Did you know if you switch the first two vowels in Olive, it becomes I love?
Did you know if you switch the first two vowels in William, it becomes William?
Yeah, but if you switch the next two, it becomes Will-am.
Are these really the kinds of things you think about?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm more of a science guy myself.
Well, you're also a really great speller.
Yeah, thanks. Achoo! Ladies and gentlemen, our final four spellers, Miss Logan Schwarzengerbenair. Creak! I'd just like to take a moment to thank my two fathers who've been so supportive of me and all of my endeavors. Thank you, Daddies!
Miss Schwarzengerbenair, please spell indicant.
Indicant. I-N-D-I...
B-U-L-O-L-I-H-A.
Correct.
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 That is correct.
Correct. I'm sorry, that is incorrect, hon.
Ambios?
The correct spelling is C-O-W. Cow. 3 spellers remain.
Miss Schwarzengerbenair. Vug.
Vug? That's the whole word, Vug. V-U-G-G-H-E. Vug.
I'm sorry, the correct spelling is V-U-G.
So simple. Sorry, Dad. Ladies and gentlemen, our final 2 spellers, would they please step forward? Mrs. Strotsky, Aleandruins.
Aleandruins. E-L-A-N-G-U-E-S-E-N-C-E.
Ding! I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Now remember, no speller can win on another's mistake.
Mr. Barfi. Welton Chung.
Definition, please!
How about you spell the goddamn word?
Welton Chung, a W-E-L.
I made a friend today. years, and that's my story. But I'm fine with second. I can live with second.
SCHAU.
It's okay, boss.
NG. Weltenschwag.
We have a winner!
All my life I worked so hard for this moment. I've only been able to breathe out of one nostril. And today is no exception.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming to the showcase.
Come back next
What's your
year.
team the best look at sections?
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah, I didn't. What? I don't know. Probably. We don't know what to say.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, but